Transition Radio TV brought to you by thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your transgender or cross-dressing needs. Visit their website at www.breastformstore.com and tell them Transition Radio sent you.
The following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. A 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Hollywood, Florida, with your host and hostess, Mark Angelo and Jessica Lynn Cummings. Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Transition Radio TV. And no, you're not seeing things. That is a picture of Jess and I. There, we've been trying to get our Skype video running, and somehow, some way, it is not working. We apologize. I feel so bad. Abigail Tarttelin, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly, Tarttelin is all the way from England, and we've been trying to deal with this situation, but it is not working, so the show must go on. So you're going to have to look at a little picture here, but you will get to see Abigail's beautiful face and emotion.
I mean, it's truly a radio show today, really, on your end.
Yeah, I know, right, really. And that's Joe on the other end there, so we're bringing it really all radio except for Abigail, which she is going to be all video.
We will bring her video to you.
So the show must go on, and here we are. So we're going to get started. We're going to tell you a little bit about Abigail before we bring her in. This 25-year-old Abigail Tarttelin's much anticipated U.S. debut novel, Golden Boy, from Asia Books, turns the conventional coming-of-age novel on its ear with a poignant, thought-provoking exploration of the turbulent private life of an intersex teen. As this often startling, multi-voice narrative unfolds, the novel examines the complex relationships and conflicts that shape the everyday reality of Max Walker, an attractive, intelligent, athletic, and sensitive young man on the cusp of adulthood, whose ambiguous gender has been safely guarded by his parents until unforeseen events threaten to expose his secret.
Golden Boy opens with an unspeakable act of violation that sets in motion Max's heretofore unfathomable dilemma. The fallout of this event is seen through the eyes of 6 narrators. Max himself, his mother, Karen, a successful lawyer, unhappy navigating the vagaries of an imperfect world, Max's precocious 10-year-old brother, Daniel, his father Steve, a well-known prosecutor running for election to Parliament, Sylvie, the unconventional girl Max loves, and Archie, the ethnically Indian doctor who helps Max in his time of greatest need.
Each lends and distinctive perspective to the extraordinary events. Abigail Tarttelin's grew up in northeast England. At 16, she trained with the National Youth Theatre of Great Britain and the New York Film Academy.
Alongside her work as a screen actress, for which she has been profiled as a one to watch, she wrote debut novel Flip, published in the UK in 2011.
Smile, and we shall come give it to you afterwards. That makes sense, Abby?
You got one of these and one of these. So if anyone wants them, if you like reading, you may have one.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Go. All right.
Go. So I'm going to read a short piece from each of the books because one's quite serious and one's really not. So I think the one that's serious is actually better to read at these kind of reading nights because it's funnier, it's livelier. But this one is coming out in a month, and I'm really proud of it. So it's a book about a boy called Max who is 16 and really, really beautiful and the golden boy of his school. But he has a big secret about him, and his family's really, really perfect, and he's trying to be really, really perfect, and he doesn't want this to get out. But he was born what we now call intersex, which is like a hermaphrodite, chromosomally XX and XY. But he looks like a boy on the outside, but he's at that kind of age, 16, where everyone's about to become a man, and he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. And a friend of his is trying to out him, and he doesn't know who he wants to be, and whether he wants to define himself or whether he wants to live undefined. So this is Max talking about how he's feeling in the book. I used to feel like I wanted to be somebody special, but now I just wish I could go back and aim to be boring, uninteresting, normal. It takes strength to be proud of yourself and to accept yourself when you know that you have something out of the ordinary about you. I had that strength. I had the solid foundation of a happy home, a good upbringing, a family that loved each other. We knew, collectively, where we were going. We were on the same page about who we were and how we dealt with things. But my family wasn't as strong as we thought. We thought we'd been tested, and we hadn't. Now I'm too tired and scared to say anything positive, to be proud of who I am, to be a good big brother to Daniel, to be anything but indifferent. I don't believe in anything I used to believe in anymore. Growing up, you believe the friends you have are good people. You believe your parents are always right. You believe that when the hard times come, you'll know what to do. You'll get through it. You'll be the hero. But then the bad things happen, and everybody lets everyone else down. And you realise that old friends can be bad people. That your parents can't fix everything. You're not the hero that you thought you were. It was just that you hadn't had anything that difficult to deal with yet. So you didn't know that you were really the coward. That you were really weak. No, I don't believe in the things I used to believe in anymore. I used to think I wasn't trying at all to be the best brother, the best son, the best footballer, the best friend. Now I realise I was trying really, really hard. I'm starting to understand that attempting to be perfect has been the goal of my life, our lives. Attempting to be this fault-free, smiling person in this loving, happy family that fits so perfectly in this pretty, indifferent, inoffensive little town. What was so bad about that goal after all? Only that I couldn't do it. That I let everyone down. I've been thinking about all the balls I was trying to juggle that I've dropped, and now the cogs are turning towards total apathy towards it all, everything, and all I can think of is that I'm a shell of a human being. I'm a pushover. I'm to blame. It's not Hunter's fault. It's not Mum's fault. It's my fault. How I reacted to my diagnosis, how I've dealt with it, who I've become. It was my turn to make the hard decisions. I had to
Now welcome to our show, the talented Abigail Tarttelin. Hey Abigail, how are you?
Hi.
Are we pronouncing your name correctly, or are we just botching it up big time?
No, I think that's right, Abigail Tarttelin. It's a difficult one, so I don't blame people that get it a wee bit wrong.
I'm Cuban, and I always mess all the words up anyway. So
yes, he doesn't speak English or Spanish. He speaks Spanglish.
English. That's yes.
So sorry, we're not seen today, but we got a lovely picture of us up there. So
yeah.
You do. It's a really sweet picture. So.
Yeah. Thanks. I actually lived in England back in 1988 to 1991. Originally went to Kent and then moved to London, and I lived in Tooting-Bec. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I am. Tooting-Bec, yeah.
Yes.
Isn't on English names weird?
No, Tooting-Bec.
Well, they're not weird. They're actually Englishly, they're grammatically correct.
Right. We're the ones that are wrong.
We're the ones that say it wrong.
Anyway, apologize for all this technical difficulties. This has never happened. So I don't know what's going on. To blame Skype. I don't know who to blame.
Absolutely no problem. I was saying to Joe, I love technology when it works, and when it doesn't work, I hate technology, and I'm never using it again.
I know, it's crazy, but the show must go on. So where did you get the inspiration for the title, and does it have some special type of meaning? Golden Boy.
Well, there's on the surface, the title came about because we do mention that Max, the protagonist of the novel, is the golden boy of his high school. And I think my agent actually suggested that we use Golden Boy as the title, and we weren't quite sure, and we weren't totally in agreement. And then gradually, I've come to really love it. But on a deeper level, when I originally started writing Golden Boy, one of my aims was to take what is often quite a taboo subject, or dealt with as taboo in mainstream culture, and to approach it in a really accessible way, and in an attractive way. So Max being the golden boy of his school means that, all the girls love him, and his parents love him, and his brother loves him, and he's a very sweet person as well as a very attractive individual physically and as a character. And so when we find out about Max being intersex, for people that perhaps it's not a topic that they know a lot about, that was one of the ways in which I wanted to make sure that they were still hooked, and they weren't kind of made nervous by this topic that they perhaps didn't know that much about. So Max being the golden boy is really integral to the kind of aim with this book, to make intersexuality and gender issues accessible to your everyday reader, basically.
Wow.
Awesome.
Very interesting.
Let me ask, is there a fictional character that inspired the novel?
There's not a fictional character, but I did see a film, a wonderful film called XXY by Lucia Puenzo. Have you watched it?
I've heard
it's
of it.
a fantastic Argentinian film, and it's about an intersex character, and that's where I first came across intersexuality and went away and researched it and found it really interesting. So
it's really, when your agent contacted us to have you on the show, I thought you were transgender, and so when I asked her something, she goes, no, she's not, she's a regular girl, and I felt like such a fool.
You were assuming.
I was assuming. Usually we do get a lot of transgender individuals that are authors and request to be on the show, so it was just like, so from that experience, actually I've had two experiences like that. I will never assume again that somebody that's contacting us is an author, that they are transgender, so.
Those damn labels.
So let me ask you this. What? Go ahead.
Sorry, Mark?
Go ahead. I cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say, I just think issues of gender and not always being comfortable with your gender, even if you're not transgender, I think that it's really interesting to discuss and think about, and to think about the roles we give people in society, and how we assign, we set up a society that it works on such a binary that there isn't room for anything in between. And I mean, I think that's a really interesting conversation for anybody. So
definitely, and people could really learn from being open and accepting and realize that everything is not just black or white, that nature has different ways of expressing herself, and to me it's an evolution that's taking place, and people need to be a little more open and realize that not everyone is exactly how we think they should be. Now,
exactly.
What can the readers expect from reading Golden Boy?
Well, it's definitely a harrowing story, particularly for in terms of the assault that Max goes through. But I think at the same time, it's hopefully a really accessible read. I mean, he lives within a very well-to-do, middle-class, comfortable community in a politically progressive family who are very well educated. And so that affords us the ability to start off from kind of and have discussions that people at the forefront of gender issues and the gender revolution would discuss. So I think basically one of my aims with Golden Boy was to ask questions and start discussions rather than providing answers, because I don't have them. And I'm really interested to discuss the topics with people now. You know, just because I've written a book, it doesn't mean that it was completely cathartic and everything's wrapped up for me. It's just a step along the journey. And for Golden Boy, I think something that early readers have got from it, and something that I hope that lots of readers will get from it, is that it asks questions and provides, because of the 6 narrators, provides different points of view on intersexuality, gender, but being different in general.
Absolutely, absolutely. At 25 years of age, you have accomplished many things. Tell us a little bit about your acting career.
Well, thank you for a start. And so I've been acting. When I left school, I really wanted to tell stories, and the way in which I began to do that was to go into acting and to audition for, like all new actors, tons of independent films and things that didn't pay very much. And so I've been doing that for 5 years now, and really enjoyed it. Always had interesting experiences and worked in British independent film, music videos, adverts, that kind of thing. And I started writing because one thing that did frustrate me about acting was that a lot of the roles that I was offered, or the things that I got through when you send your CV in, the things that I got picked up and called back for were things like prostitutes or silent girlfriends. And I started to feel like, well, my guy friends who are actors are doing really interesting roles where I am because I am a young woman, I tend to be either cast as pretty or slutty. And for me, that wasn't what I wanted to do when I set out to work in theatre and work in film. So I decided to start writing stories down, and for me that was much more freeing, because I had control over the kind of thing that I wanted to express and I wanted to talk about. You know, like a film, like if Golden Boy was a film, I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been a film quite like Golden Boy. So for me, I get to write about things that I'm really interested in. And I never got to do that as an actress. Having said that, I am going to continue to act, and hopefully I'll be able to write parts for myself. I do screenwriting with a great friend of mine called Andy Squires, and we have a couple of scripts with our agent, and we're just going to see what happens. So it's definitely something I'll keep doing.
Absolutely. Well, the thing about writing, because I like to write too, but it's more on a creative basis because it allows you to bring out your creativity. I don't know, how does that differ from acting? Like, you can bring out creativity in acting as well as writing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I was frustrated with was that when I thought about what I wanted to be as an actor, it wasn't these very just roles that were assigned to me based on my gender, my looks, and they were very stereotypical roles, really. So what I enjoy doing with writing is making the different choice and making the more interesting choice, and speaking about interesting, quirky, like heroic, fantastic crazy people, and all the characters in Golden Boy, in a sense, have really interesting things about them and were fantastic to write. And because I wrote them all in the first person as well, it's quite like acting, because I sat down and embodied the character and thought, okay, well, how would they react to this situation? So it affords you some more freedom, I think.
Absolutely. Well, here's a trailer from one of the films you were on.
Okay.
How did it start?
With me being a genius.
Twenty-third of the third and ninth. Experiment 7. Just about to apply the neural accelerant.
Normally, parallel worlds cannot interact, but in some cases, the Casimir effect for example, they can and do.
The livestock, they have been mistreated, they are diseased. I can't guarantee their survival.
Their survival is not necessary. The experiment is ready.
Hit me.
I can walk through walls.
We've got to stop them.
Doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. Something's going to take over the universe.
It really isn't.
That actually looks like a pretty good film, action-packed. It looks like you had a lot of fun playing that role.
It was so much fun to make. That was one of the first films I ever made, and it was very kind of Doctor Who-y as an experience, and I got to beat up a lot of people and shoot things. So it was really, fun as a fun. The shoot was great.
That's the fun thing about acting. I actually took 4 years of acting in high school, and I enjoy it very much. But you get to play all these voices in your head type of thing. You get to be all these different people all the time, which is a great thing. So tell me, how was it growing up in Northeast England? And have you been to the States? And if so, what is your favorite place here in the U.S.?
I really love Northeast England, particularly... I grew up on the coast, so I'm very much in love with the North Sea. And the fish and chips here are awesome, so that's a big thing for me. I have been to the States. I'm actually about to embark on a tour of the States. I leave England on Friday, and I'm going to the Gaithersburg Book Festival, New York, Boston, Plymouth, Denver and Fort Collins in Colorado, and then up to Canada to Toronto, and then back to Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and LA. So I'm really glad I remember all of them. But I'm really excited to actually see the middle of the country, because I've been to the coast, I've been to DC and New York and Miami, and I've been to LA and San Diego. So I'm excited to go through the middle. But particularly I really enjoyed Venice Beach, because I love my oceans, and I enjoy skateboarding. And I also liked Miami Beach. I really have a very strong memory of Cuban sandwiches, and so those pulled pork ones, is it?
Yes.
They're so
Yes.
delicious.
Yes.
So.
Cuban food is very, very delicious. We do have a lot of cuisine and tasty, but very fattening though. So I try to stay away from that stuff. I gotta keep my boyish figure.
No doubt, and I'll keep my girlish figure. What kind of research, if any, did you have to do when writing this novel? And do you know any intersex or trans individuals?
I do know some intersex and trans individuals. When I was writing the novel for actual research, blogs were the most interesting thing to read for me, because I found it quite hard to find people to talk to, but some blogs are quite personal and very interesting, and people are very honest, and I find that hugely admirable and very brave, and particularly when it came to people younger than myself, because I actually grew up in my family is very politically progressive, but the area I grew up in isn't like the area where Golden Boy was set, which is Golden Boy is set in a very, as I said, middle class community, politically quite left, but back here it's a little bit of ye olden days still. We're not city folk, and so I was quite shy when I was young, and in my school to have been anything other than ordinary would have been a crime, and indeed it was, and so I was really impressed by the amount of young people, teenagers, who were identified as things that were non-binary, but were even outside of the usual labels that we give ourselves, and I was really just impressed and amazed by how courageous they were. So that was a really interesting experience. But in most of my research was actually on the science of Max's condition, and because I know that some books and films about intersexuality have been slightly inaccurate or used the wrong terms for certain conditions. So I wanted to get that really spot on, and I did a lot of research on the internet, and I read books, and I spoke to somebody who trained doctors in England about the way that the medical profession approaches intersexuality and surgery on infants. And so the science was really important to get right for me. But I've been asked before if Max's story is based on any one intersex person, and it really wasn't based on anyone I met online or in any blog I read. I felt that the right way to approach it would be to think that, and one of the points of the book is to say that your gender doesn't necessarily affect the person that you are and how you feel things, and so obviously just because you're a boy doesn't mean that you're going to have stereotypically masculine tendencies or express yourself in a stereotypically masculine way, and just because you're a girl, likewise, you're not necessarily going to be particularly feminine. So I wanted to approach Max as a human being and forget gender, and that's kind of why I chose to speak with an intersex character, because it was somebody who didn't have to choose a gender and who didn't have necessarily the pressures that somebody who's born a girl or born a boy has when they're growing up to embody that gender. So Max was a really interesting character to just approach as a human being.
Awesome. So let me ask you, what is your passion and what do you hope to accomplish in the future?
So many things, but I'm really looking forward to starting my next novel, and I've had several ideas, but I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, and I'm really excited to see where I can go with that, and see how it develops. And I also really love film, and films like XXY and Pedro Almodovar's films were a huge influence on me growing up. So I would love to be involved in film in some way, and you know, hopefully mine and Andy's screenplays, we'll be able to produce them or get them made in some way. But also, I really kind of hope that Golden Boy becomes a film, because I think it would be a wonderful Kids Are All Right style discussion of gender. I think Kids Are All Right discuss sexuality in a very accessible way, because it was in a quite a very loving family and quite a normal environment, something that I think a lot of us could see ourselves living in. And with Golden Boy, I think you could do the same, speaking about gender in a quote average community. So I think that would be wonderful. I mean, that would really be the cherry on the cake of my year if we got a film deal.
I'm a big believer that you create your reality with your mind and think it and it shall happen. So I have no doubt that Golden Boy will be a film. And all your dreams.
Definitely.
Here's another clip from one of the films you were on. It's called Triple Hit.
Thank you.
Today's experiment is the 7th attempt in our Many Worlds series. We're going to be using quantum tunneling to prove, or disprove, the Many Worlds hypothesis. Now, normally, parallel worlds cannot interact, but in some cases, the Casimir effect, for example, they can and do.
So you don't want anything else? I haven't got any money.
Are you okay?
My husband died.
I've studied how your counterpart made the transit.
We both know she'll be back. A last drink, Matthias.
Not quite. I filled it with the neural accelerant. You're gonna need it.
What for?
Because you're gonna find her. Stop her, aren't you?
Give me your firearm. Give it here, or I'll take it. No damn capitalist bitch is invading my universe. Even if she doesn't like me.
Policeman, 3, armed. What are you going to do? 3 against 1 is good odds. And kill them all quickly.
No!
If we don't get there, they will die, and so will everyone else.
Good of the many outweighs good of the few, right?
Yeah, 9 out of 10 people enjoy gang rape.
I'm going to ask you a few questions. And if I do not like your answers, I will invite my colleague to ask the questions instead. Now, tell me, how exactly did you come to be here? I want to know the precise method.
Well... Whoa! Okay, steady on. I was performing a quantum tunneling experiment and we had an equipment failure. So I tried it using just my own brain and some neural accelerant. Initially I was just walking through walls but then I must have passed some sort of threshold limit and I just found myself here. I'm still trying to work it all out myself.
Grigory?
What? No. Fuck! No, please, no!
Well, space?
run like a girl.
That was awesome. Run like a girl.
Yeah.
What stereotype?
It was so much fun watching that again. I haven't seen it in ages.
How exactly does one run like a girl? Exactly. So tell us something that no one knows about Abigail, but they should know.
Oh, you know what? I looked at this question and I thought, oh God, what? And I couldn't think of anything other than kind of frivolous things like, I really like skateboarding.
Okay, that's not where I was getting at. I was trying to get something like...
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So tell us. Something with spice.
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, damn, you know, I don't know. I'm quite a private person, like, and then the way I'm not private is that I write books about intersex people, and people are like, oh, Abby, you're all about gender, right? So, that's kind of, my books are my most public way of me being a rebel, I think, because I come from quite a quiet community where if you wrote a book about an intersex person, people would be like, what? So that's how I express myself, really. And luckily I have an awesome family, and they've already embraced the idea of the book. Even my 85-year-old granddad read the book, and he said he knows it's not kind of aimed at him, and but he saw the reason behind writing it, and I mean, that was really moving for me. So something that a lot of people don't know, I suppose, is that you have a huge, close, very, very, very close family, and that's a big motivation for me in writing, because I think with things like Golden Boy, I want people to be as open and loving, and I want to be as open and loving as my family have been with me. So there we go.
Well, I was looking through your YouTube channel, so you're also into comedy, and you had some short clips. Didn't pick any because I thought the film part was I wanted to share it with the viewers, but you're also into comedy, I see. And,
yes, I love to wet myself with humor, and actually today, me and Andy, my friend, we have a new script that we had just finished a new draft on. So we're going to go discuss that with our agent on Wednesday. But we finished it today, and it's called Memoirs of a Ball Boy. And it's about this guy who was a hugely famous ball boy in the 80s. He's called The Catch, and he has a little symbol like for the catch, but it's also where he catches balls really quickly. And basically it's 90 minutes of ball jokes. And we just thought, wow, if we could sell this, wouldn't it be amazing to make your living out of ball jokes? So
yeah, doing what you love.
So that's our latest comic endeavor. But we have started to do a lot more videos to just put online, and we really love and enjoy doing that. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come. And there is a clip from Memoirs of a Ball Boy online as well, with Andy playing Nigel the Catch Watkins. It's a dating video.
I enjoyed watching. I watched many clips, trying to find the clips for the show, and I was just like, I kept watching and watching. So,
great! I'm so glad.
Tell our viewers where they can find your book or get a hold of you.
Well, I have a copy here. It looks like this. So if you see it in a bookshop, this is it. It's going to be at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, on all the e-readers, and if you I'm a big supporter of my local bookstore, and so if you want to get it from an independent retailer, it is available to order, and you can go to Simon & Schuster or Atria Books, the websites, and find a list of local independent stockists. So I hope that everyone enjoys it basically and gets something from it, and I really hope that Transition Radio viewers get something from it as well.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, we apologize greatly for all this technical. It's really weird not just seeing the little pictures of us. But at least all the shine is on you, so your audio, video, and we're just that little blurry picture there on the side. But
I feel like we just spiraled backwards in a time machine like 50 years.
Yeah.
On our end.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It's driving me crazy, but we will definitely figure it out and get it fixed. So thank you so very much for being on our show. We've enjoyed it immensely. I love the way you speak. I've always loved the British accent. I think it's so elegant. And
oh, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm so glad that you did. And yeah, thank you so much. And no worries about the technical problems. It can be a bitch, technology.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but hey, we worked it out and we were able to do it anyway.
Yes,
so.
And the viewers got to see your beautiful face and hear your beautiful message. And I hope they enjoy the book, Golden Boy. And
you hear that awesome English accent.
Yes. Thank you so much, Abigail.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abigail.
This week we're going to have another transition video, but I want to say what we usually say before we present the video, and here we go.
Enjoy life, enjoy the journey, and the gift that we have been given. Just look how angelic we are. Androgyny is an amazing thing.
We set forth and embark on a transformation that can only show the world our godly nature. Here is the transition video of the week by Michelle.
Oh yeah, falling down, but I can get up. And everyone in this old town can get the back up. Oh yeah, you call yourself my friend, your back is breaking. Why don't we find out in the end what's for the taking? He's not listening. tonight. We can't escape the basic facts, how cold it can get. There's nothing to protect ourselves when the rain gets us wet. So I'll just tell you now, this is a final bow. If you don't know the way to hold me, let me show you how. And if this is the end, it's the best place I've ever been. It feels so good to just get lost sometimes. Only the forces can find us tonight. Only the horses can bring us back home. No tracks, they will follow the heroes calling and save us by morning light. Only the horses can bring us back home tonight.
That was an awesome, awesome transformation, and very angelic and androgynous indeed. I wanted to bring to attention something that I read yesterday online, which saddened me. To think that a family member would do this to someone they love, knowing that this person they love is leading a life, and they just went in there and take advantage of the whole situation. Let me read you the whole thing so you get what I'm talking about. Lon Watts, Texas gay man, says partner Jim Heath's sister forced them apart and evicted him. For more than 30 years, Lon Watts said he shared his life and his love with partner Jim Heath, but that life came crashing down in 2011. After Watts says Heath's sister successfully forced the pair apart, evicted him from the house, and has prohibited him from visiting Heath in the nursing home.
Now Watts is speaking out about both the incident and the laws in Texas that refuse to recognize him as anything more than a good friend of a man he's loved for decades. Jim and I shared 34 years together. The past 6 years, he has suffered from Alzheimer's disease. He was hospitalized last year. His estranged sister filed for guardianship of him and won. We gave each other power of attorney, which she never revealed in court, as I was never mentioned, nor considered, nor notified.
If we were equal in the eyes of the law, we would be together till the end. But as it stands in Texas, a money-hungry, greedy relative was able to steal our life and toss me out as trash to pad her pocketbook. I pray God has mercy on her soul for her evil deeds. I'm content knowing the world is coming around to acknowledge that all humans are created equal and should have equal rights.
Absolutely.
It's just, it really touched me because you spend years and years with someone you love just because people have issues with gay marriage or with gay individuals or transgender individuals. The family in the end up doing really evil things, and they're showing no respect for their family member, for the one supposedly they love, and hurting another. So I hope people start evolving and growing and looking within, because that's what it's all about, unconditional love. And realize that these individuals have been put into your life for a reason, to help you learn how to love unconditionally. Well, folks, we're going to wrap up. It's, I'm so sorry, it's our video live on today, and it's we got to figure out what's going on with Skype, or if we've got some sort of errors on the computer or something. But we wanted to bring this show, and we definitely wanted to bring Abigail. She's an extremely talented young lady, and she goes very far. As a matter of fact, I know she will go very far. Hi guys, thank you so much. Next Sunday is Mother's Day, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look at the...
Yes, it is. It's May 12th, Mother's Day.
Yes, so we won't be having the show, but we will be airing a pre-recorded show with Jazz and Jeanette. That's right, Jazz and Jeanette We pre-recorded a show a few weeks back, and we're going to air it on Mother's Day. To all your mothers out there, we sending you our love, and remember, mothers love their children, children love their mothers, and it's all about unconditional love. I love my mother dearly, and it took her a while to accept me, but finally she has. So enough rambling. Anything else you wanted to add, my dearest?
Nope. I just wanted to thank Abigail again for being on the show. We had a great time, and hopefully we'll have all the book work out by the next show that's going to be live.
Yes, next week we've got the pre-recorded show. All right, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a great remainder of Sunday, and what comes next. We love you, but remember to always love yourselves too. Good night, folks.
Good night.